Hello.
What's happening?
Well, we are 2 weeks into puppy wrangling. That's
Yeah,
part of it.
this one's very busy. Chomp, 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 chomp. Yeah. What's happening, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hello. Welcome to the show.
I just realized we look like twins.
Yeah, that's right.
We both have hats on. We're both wearing black today.
I'm the one that wears black every day.
That's
if
fair.
you choose to wear black, you've made the choice to look like me.
I can wear black too. You know?
Yeah. You're allowed. I'm just saying, you're not. She's always like poo-pooing the idea of wearing any kind of matchy outfits or anything like that. Whereas I don't care. Whatevs. Anyway, happy Sunday. Things have definitely calmed down a bit here. I think as far as dogs go. Last Sunday, it was like a whirlwind, just trying to wrangle the dogs, and a big part of it has been making it so Gizmo, who is
Currently
sleeping
asleep.
on Vicky's lap, make it so she can't get out of. We have a really big our kitchen and our front family room, I guess you would call it, is a big connected space, and that's like where the dogs live, and that's where we are when we're not working, like where we hang out when we're not working or sleeping. And so, but we gate it off because they're not supposed to be coming upstairs. We don't let them come upstairs. What are you pointing at?
Sound.
We're talking. They said that last week, and then everybody else said it was totally fine. That's not it.
Okay.
Is everybody having a hard time with the sound? Let me know. Because I feel like some people are having issues with it and some people are not.
I don't have the sound up on my computer.
Vic, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be up on the computer. No, you can hear us, or no problem. Okay, it's fine. All right. Anyway, she's an escape artist. She jumps really high. The gate we had before was absolutely ineffectual. We ordered another gate, but it was like a freestanding gate. And so then I ordered another gate, but we realized that it wouldn't work because it has like cross hatching on it. And she'll climb a freaking fence, guys. It could be 6 feet tall. If there's something for her to get her feet on, she will climb over that.
And leap over it, and she does not care.
So then we went back to the freestanding gate because it was high enough. But the problem is it was freestanding, so she could just shove it out off to the side. So I had to go to Home Depot, and basically I attached the freestanding gate on one side completely, and then the other side, it actually has a gate latch, which I had to go through a couple different types of latches because the first one I tried also did not work. So we finally have her on complete lockdown where she cannot, because seriously, she'll just jump over, shove her way through, and then
She's done it a dozen times.
and then Ripley and Grizz are like, "Oh, I guess we're free," and then they like come after her, and it's just ridiculous. And so it's finally, ow,
And then she
that's my
runs
hand.
upstairs and runs into the bedroom and jumps up and gets crazy and pees
then-
on things. And
Yeah, her, because she's one of those dogs that when she's excited, she'll pee a little bit. And so we're working on that too. She's a challenge, guys, but she's the best challenge. She's like one of the most awesome dogs ever. It's just one of those things where I don't know if any of you guys have dogs who are like crazy and get really, really overstimulated when you walk into the room and you have to do that whole thing that, what's his name? Caesar, where you have, and I had to do this with Grizz years and years and years ago, where you don't look at them, you don't talk to them, and you turn your back to them until they're calm. And so that has actually been working really well. And she generally, when we come into the room now, because we let her calm down first, she doesn't do the little piddle accidents. But when she escapes and runs upstairs, pretty much every time.
Oh, yeah.
So we finally got a lock on that. Anyway, sorry to go on and on about puppies, but
This is pretty much our life.
yeah, it's pretty much
now.
our life.
We've become, instead of crazy cat ladies, we're crazy dog ladies, I guess.
It's just like a little bit. It's any new dog is a challenge. Puppies are a challenge. They're a lot of work. You have to be like on top of them at all times.
Trying to reinforce training.
Yeah, and so but when you have two new dogs and one's a puppy and one has, no, I wouldn't say behavioral issues. I think it's really just that she's adjusting because she's been through a lot. I think once she's gotten through that, she's gonna be fine. But it's like they each have their own needs and their different needs, and then we also have our two other dogs. So it's a lot of juggling and just trying to make things happen. And
Yeah,
I think
I've
it's
never
finally
done the
calming
two
down a little
dogs
bit.
at once before, and I can say I do not recommend. I wouldn't do it again. I'm very happy that we got them together. They belong together. I love that we have mother and baby, but in general, taking two dogs in at once is too much. And honestly, we're good for dogs, right? We have Ripley is 3.5. this mama, the vet said that she's between 1 and 2, which is what we thought.
Yeah. I took her into the vet this last week with her anxiety issues. So.
And then the baby is obviously a baby. So we're going to have 3 young dogs that are all small dogs that should all live long lives. And then Grizz, unfortunately, is on her last legs. So we will be back down to 3 at some point.
Some point this year.
And they're all in equal standing. So hopefully...
But personality-wise with the dogs, they're all getting along. And it's taken a little bit of time. Ripley has been best buds with the puppy since pretty much day one. Mm-hmm. And they play a lot. But Ripley and Gizmo's the mom, she had to like kind of correct Ripley a few times because she didn't know her yet, and she was roughhousing with her kid, and so Ripley was a little bit scared of her. They are finally now playing too, so I think that as far as personalities go, fantastic.
Yeah, they all get along. They get along great, and they ignore Grizz, and Grizz ignores them as it should be, because the little old lady doesn't want to f with anybody. She just wants to hide and sleep and lay in her bed, and she's like, leave me alone. Yeah. So and they respect that, at least.
Yeah. So I set up the show every Sunday, and so Vicky doesn't see the titles until I post it, and she's like, urgent care, really? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna use it because it's not clickbait, so we might as well use it. And she really did go to urgent care. You want to tell your tale of woe? Well, yeah, I mean, I think you talked about it last week a little bit, didn't you?
Maybe, I don't know, but I did talk about it on my personal page, which I know some of you guys are on and saw it. It's basically, and clearly I didn't realize how many people I know suffer with the same thing. But within the last couple of years, I've had a lot of issues with sciatica and like pain from my sciatic nerve, which is very common, especially in women, actually. And it's also very common in middle age and very common especially when you're overweight. And I was overweight. So it's had flare-ups here and there. Sometimes it lasts for a few hours. Sometimes it lasts for a few days. The longest it ever lasted was 5 or 6 days. And that was
usually like a week.
About a year ago. And then I hadn't had any flare-ups in a year after. And since losing about 70 pounds, I was like, well, maybe it's because I've lost weight. So yay. Mm-hmm. I would have little twinges here and there, but never anything that like put me in a lot of pain or permanent pain.
Well, also tirzepatide is known to help with inflammation, so
I think that was part of it. Yeah, it was definitely helping. Well, last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, something tweaked again, and I don't lift heavy things. I'm very careful. I don't have any back issues. I'm or anything like that. Sometimes
she's a princess.
Sometimes it's tied to back injuries or, and I've never had any injuries to my back. This is it. But about 2 weeks ago, it came on with a vengeance, and I have never had it last this long or be this bad and this painful, where instead of having it just be for a couple of hours, if I were lucky, I would have respite for a few hours during each day. And I was in pain to the point where I was laying on the couch or laying in bed 20 hours a day. Mm-hmm. with a heating pad, because it's the only relief you get is laying down. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't kneel, nothing would relieve the pain. And I was in tears more than once. Yeah. And very, very frustrated with it. And everywhere you read, there's nothing you can do for sciatica, really. It's stretches. And I was doing the stretches, several times a day.
You're doing planks.
I was planking. I can't do a full minute yet, but I'm getting close.
Well, and then I finally made a doctor's, because she didn't have her primary care doctor, and I've been doing all the health stuff this last year, and so I finally signed her up with my primary. And
I never go to the doctor. Like that's a big thing. I'm gonna say a lot of people that have anxiety. And again, I know some of you guys will recognize this. There's called the insurmountable task. And for me, that's phone calls and doctor's appointments. Mm-hmm. So I literally never go to the doctor. Yeah. I have not been to a doctor except for when I had my surgery 2 years ago. I have not been to an actual doctor for myself in probably 5 or 6 years for any reason.
So I signed her up, and she has an appointment on April 16th, but that's still another over 2 weeks away.
I was like, I cannot live like this for another second with pain. And I actually was bitching about it a little bit on Facebook yesterday, and all of my friends were like, yeah, this is the worst pain ever. I totally get it. Anyone that's experienced it. So thank you for that, because that validated I'm really not a crybaby, but I was in agony. And then a couple of people had said, go to the walk-in. And so within an hour, I had made an appointment to go to our local urgent care.
Which we've never used them before. And it was nice to figure out our insurance covers one that's literally 4 minutes away. And you can go online and check it online. So you don't have to go and sit in the waiting room for hours. And then they let you know when they're ready for you.
Yeah. So the whole process from signing up to getting over there was like 30 minutes between signing up and actually getting in to see the nurse practitioner, who first of all, I was all ready to be on the defensive. All right. If any of you guys have done healthcare lately, it's not fun, right? US healthcare is terrible. We can all agree on that. You've got to go to a doctor, and then you've got a referral, and you've got to get another freaking 5 referrals before anybody will see you, and then you've got to get testing, and then you've got to get an appointment for testing, which is never in the same office. Then you've got to go back and review the testing. It's a freaking process for everything. It's all a money grab, and it drives me insane. But actually went in and heard and spoke with the nurse practitioner, who was very sympathetic and listened to everything I said, and immediately said, here's what I can do for you. I can give you a shot immediately for pain. I got a shot in my thigh for Toradol.
For pain and inflammation.
Pain and inflammation. And then I got a shot in the other thigh, which was a steroid and a muscle relaxer. And I will tell you, first of all, the Toradol shot, if you've ever had one in your thigh, is no frickin' joke. That was the most painful shot I've ever had in my life. And thank God she did not warn me first, because, whew, that hurt. That took all the pain off the back, I'll tell you that. All the focus, I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Now I just can't walk. But that abated after about 15 minutes. But what I will have to say is that within 4 hours, I was 100% pain-free.
Within an hour, you were like 80%.
Within an hour is 80%. Within 3 or 4 hours, 100% pain-free, which means two things. It means that my sciatic nerve is not wrapped around a bone or a tendon, and that the inflammation reduction is enough to shift it enough to make sure that I can get that relief, which a lot of people don't get that type of relief right away. So that's a very good thing, but also means that I don't need to suffer like this again. If I can handle a couple of days of pain, but if it goes beyond 2 or 3 days of pain, I know that this is an option that works.
Yeah.
They also sent me home with pain meds and muscle relaxers, which I have not taken, because today I am pain free. So I will hang on to that for if I get to a point where I do need it, and assuming that this lasts for a while.
Of course, then suddenly she's doing all this cleaning and moving stuff around in her shipping room.
Steroids.
And I'm like, you need to stop. Just because you feel good right now, you need to stop. And so she did it for a little while, and then she finally listened to me. I said, you need to stop doing this for today, because you're feeling great and you're going to push yourself too far and make it worse.
And again, if anybody's ever been on prednisone or any type of big, heavy duty steroids, it gives you this huge burst of energy. So I'm sure that's part of it too. So
yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, the roids do wear off after it. This is like a temporary couple of day respite, but
hopefully it's enough that it released it, and once all the drugs complete, because I don't know how long the steroid shot will last, but once all that is gone out of your system, hopefully you'll be okay, because it's really just about like that nerve, whatever's going on, to release. And hopefully
I will say that last night, even, it was. Once the pain was there, it was such a relief that I was in tears because of the relief. So clearly it was hurting me even more than I thought. Like, it was like such a weight lifted off.
Yeah.
So today is a good day, and now I know that it's probably not the worst type of sciatica pain I could have, because this worked. And this does not work for everyone. And if it happens again where the pain is that bad, then I do have the option to go and walk in. So I think it was Lori Rothy that was in my on my Facebook. That was the one that told me to go get the shot, and I'm really glad that I did it, because it was well worth it, and I feel 100% better today, and I'm just hoping that it'll last. In my mind, I was thinking, we're going on this road trip in 4 weeks, and there's no way I can sit in a moving truck for 3,000 miles without, I would die. I would not be able to do it. I physically would not have been able to do it. There's no possible way. So now I know. Now I have stuff to take with me. Now I actually have a sciatica diagnosis, first of all, on a piece of paper, which actually does help if I ever had to go somewhere in another state with, any of that stuff. Well, now
you're going to have the regular appointment with the doctor, so it'll be a nice little follow-up and check in and see where to go from there. But anyway, that is really good. Yeah. You're squirmy.
There's my trip to the urgent care. Well worth it. I will say, if you live in the Las Vegas area and you have to do it, it was a $50 copay for me. My insurance covered this place. I fully expected it to be a zoo. It's a Saturday, right? And walk-ins and ERs are awful. This was cheaper than going to the ER, and so much easier. And I'm really glad that, I'm really glad that I went and did it. So thank you to Lori specifically, who was pushing me on Facebook that it was worth going. Because I think part of, being a woman and I'm not trying to generalize, but I think part of being a woman is not being heard or seen when you go to a doctor very often. And it's like you have to battle for everything.
Yeah.
So you feel like, I don't want to make too much noise. I don't want to make too much of a fuss. I kept saying,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want narcotics. Please
And
don't
yeah,
give me.
you don't want them to think you're drug seeking.
I don't want
you don't want them to be dismissive.
like I didn't want to be dismissed. I didn't want,
but they weren't.
I was like, I'm not looking for narcotics. I really don't want narcotics. I have some leftover oxy here at the house that I still haven't taken because I don't want that.
Yeah.
I just wanted relief of some kind.
Yeah.
So
that's our saga.
yeah, and I do know the exercises, Lori. I've been doing the stretches and the exercises sporadically. I need to make it more of my daily routine to do it when I'm not in pain to help prevent. So yeah, I do know that, and they sent me home with some more exercises
some walks because walking. I know I have been reading everywhere that walking does help. Anyway, all right. So that's the saga for the week. We are still in puppy chaos. I was holding the puppy up for Lorna. And everybody else. We're still in puppy chaos here, but it is getting better. Everybody's chilling out a little bit.
Here's
like I
Gizmo.
said, Gizmo went to the vet this last week, and they gave her a prescription for trazodone,
So she's
just
stoned.
to use. Yeah, she's a little stoned right now. Just to use, if it's going to be a stressful day. And today we were going to be like out of the downstairs a lot more, trying to get work done. And she's been really good. She's doing really good, and I think it'll be fine. But they're all doing really well. Who's the most adorable puppy? They're all adorable. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and get into our
Vicky on
actual
roid rage cleans the house exactly.
Well, she was like she was moving stuff around and bending down and picking stuff up, and I'm like, no, like you need to stop. Just because you feel great right now, come on, knock it off.
You know, Patty, she has not gotten her YouTube video posted.
Horrible.
And she was supposed to have it done by the remix, and now we're 2 weeks post remix. I don't know. I'm going to need to get on that, Jody girl.
Yes.
I know she's been working a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's go ahead and get to our regular show. This is our regular Sunday show. As you guys know, we break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our real numbers for the last week across all of our platforms and break down the costs like shipping, fees, and cost of goods. Then we look at some sales highlights for the last week. And then lastly, we look at what our goals were for the last week and what our goals are moving forward, what we're trying to do. Also, as we talked about last week about the road trip, if you haven't joined the Katy and Vikki Facebook group, which is linked below, you need to do that so that you can see everything and be a part of everything that's going on the road trip that Vikki and Trish are taking from Boston to Vegas in just over a month.
13 days.
Yep.
And 10 meetups.
10 meetups, you guys. So you want to be in that Facebook group. The link is down below.
Especially if you're close to any of the locations where we're going to be having the meetups. We're going to be posting them as events and letting people know if it's within an hour or two and you can drive. We'd love to see you. It's open to anyone. They're free. They're all free.
Yep.
We're finding locations now, and we'll be posting everything and finalizing the locations, the days, and the times within this week.
And if you can't come, you want to be following along on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. We have TikTok. We're only up to like 45 followers. We need to get to 1,000 in the next month so that they can go live on the road.
I don't think enough of us, our followers, are TikTokers.
They got to go live on the road. Also, if you are not able to go to any of the meetups in person, you want to be following along because there is going to be a wrap-up show at the very end where prizes will be given out. And the way that we're going to choose the winners is based on your knowledge of Vikki and Trish road trip trivia, things that happen along the way. You're going to want to be paying attention.
And yes, Heather, we are starting off in Boston, so look for that. It's right outside of Boston. It's probably going to be in the Rockland area, which is where the New England meetup group is. Diane's was the former leader of the meetup group with Trish, and now it's Trish and her friend Denise. Denise has stepped up to help her with it. And then, yes, the day that we return back to Vegas, we will be having a meetup here in Vegas.
Indeed.
And I'm going to invite you all, and hopefully I'll get some strong people to come to the Vegas meetup and help us unload the truck. That's part of the meetup, guys.
That's part of the meetup.
I love you, but I'm going to ask.
Yeah. Especially since she shouldn't be lifting. But you are so squirmy. You're so squirmy. You're a squirmy little baby and your ears inside out. All right, so let's go ahead and share the screen here so we can get this show on the road, 20 minutes in. My sales, I've been having low but steady sales. It's definitely hurt me how little I've been listing over the last month between the remix and then coming home to puppies and I'm just kind of starting to get back into the groove of things, but I've only been listing like 5 a day. And so it's really reflected in my numbers. It's all like mostly low priced items and not enough volume. And that just has to do with the amount I've been listing and needing to get back on track, which is going to be happening now. But you can see I have 25 eBay orders, 7 Etsy, 5 Poshmark, 2 between Grove, Mercari, and Depop for a total of 39. I need to get back. Remember when I was getting up to like 50 and 60? This puppy. And then eBay gross sales, $1,044.82. Etsy real slow, $162.57. Poshmark beat Etsy with $192, and then $80 with the Grailed Mercari Depop combined. Total gross sales are $1,479.39. And then shipping, $155.31. You can see the rest of the fees broken down there. And then cost of goods, $110. Total net sales, $1,034.21. And then you can see my gross average sale price, $37.93. That's not where I want it to be. Thanks for the commentary, biatch. I try. My goal is to be 40 and above. So $37.93, not quite cutting it. But like I said, just real low price stuff selling and not enough of it. Net average sale price, $26.52. So I'm coughing along, but I can definitely see where the work needs to happen. But like I said, everything's been crazy here, and I do see
between remix, the planning before the remix, right at the end, the last 2 weeks before the remix week itself, and then now we've had puppies for 2 weeks. We knew that this was going to be a solid couple of months where we were not going to get as much work done as we need to.
So I'm just trying to get back on track here. And then, like I've said last week, once, when Vicky's out of town for basically like 3 weeks, it's definitely when I'm going to be buckling down and just really getting
I am going to be gone for
done.
almost 3 weeks. Yeah. I'll be gone for 19 days, which is the longest we've ever been apart.
I know.
Ever.
It's true. It's true.
Since we met.
Yeah, it's very true. All right. At least you'll have Trish with you. Let's look at your numbers.
All right, so my numbers were a little bit better than Katie's. It's not a terrible week at all. And I will say I have not been able to list too much more than she has between being in pain and having the puppies. It's, it's been very busy week. But I have a lot of the jewelry stuff that has had some higher sale prices, which is really helping me. No money outlaid, but it is consignment, so I do give 50% of the net once you remove fees and shipping and all that stuff. 50% goes to my consignee. So some of this is not like all that. The net sales is not all mine. It's probably a few $100s goes to him as well. So 28 eBay orders, 11 on Etsy, 11 on Poshmark, 1 Lonely Mercari order for 51 total orders myself, $16.64 and 20 cents on eBay, $7.60 on Etsy. Etsy was a very good week this week. Poshmark, 11. Look at the difference between my average sale price on Etsy and Poshmark.
Yeah.
So 11 orders at $760 on Etsy, 11 orders at $293 on Poshmark. You can see the big difference there. 1 Lonely Mercari sale for $43 for a total of $27.60 and 20 cents. $222 shipping. And then my cost of goods is always relatively low at $97. So my total net sales just over $2,100 for the week. Not terrible. My gross average sale price $54, and my net is at $41.53.
Yeah. I haven't. I mean, I guess I've basically thrown the towel in on Mercari. Even though I was getting sales on Mercari, it hasn't seemed worth my time to cross post anymore to Mercari, Depop, or Grailed. So I still have them there. All my listings are still there because it doesn't cost me anything to have them on there.
I have someone that does my cross posting for me, a virtual assistant. So it does happen. And you're right. Yes, my cost of goods should have the consignment sales in it, Patty. Yeah. I just don't have that formula for this spreadsheet. So for in general, when I do my actual taxes, yes, that's how it is handled. But this isn't a tax sheet. This is just a spreadsheet for the show.
Yeah.
What was I looking at there? Mercari, I'm in the same. I do pay a cross poster that, like I said, that does all of my things. And so far, it's still sort of worth it for Mercari. I mean, I don't pay her very much to get the listings there, and it takes seconds. But if I were doing it myself, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our sales highlights.
All right.
This is you.
This is me. So actually, this cost me nothing. This was mine. This was my personal keychain. that I had on my key ring for years, and then took it off a few years ago and shoved it in a drawer. And somewhere along the lines, I saw that someone was selling Coach keychains, and they were selling for a decent amount of money. So I listed it. I listed it probably 6 months ago, and then just it sat up there, and it sold for the price you see here. $60 for a freaking keychain I had in my junk drawer in the kitchen
Ridiculous.
for
And it's
years.
like all worn and
It's not worn really, but it is a little dirty. I didn't even clean it.
yeah.
$60 for a freaking keychain.
For
So
freaking
if you have,
keychain.
Coach keychain, floating around somewhere, I don't even know where the hell I got it. I think it came
Well, you used
with
to
a bag.
buy Coach bags.
I used to have Coach bags back when they were made better, and I actually liked them. And I had this for a long time, and I don't know. I don't even know where I picked it up. Could have been an outlet store. Who knows? But I had it for years, used it for years, shoved it in a drawer for years, and now here we go, $60.
All right, sounds good to me. Okay, like I said, I've got a lot of low price sales, but slowly but surely, I'm selling off my personal horror tee collection, the ones that are too big for me, because I pretty much wear a small now. So,
But look, he's so cute.
I know he is so cute. Poor little Jason. So I was kind of, I'm definitely sad. I need to get some new horror tees. Luckily, I just got a big batch of stuff from Jennifer, and I know there's at least one personal shirt in there that's going to fit me that I'm excited about. But I need to get some more t-shirts. Yeah, that's right. I need more t-shirts. Because right now I have mostly mediums, and they fit me, but they're a little bit on the looser side than what I like to wear. But I'm selling off these ones. I got this at...
You're really a men's small now.
I know, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm a small. My mediums will fit okay. Like, I can wear them, but I can't wear any of my larges, so all the larges I'm selling. But I know I got this at the bins, so I paid less than $1 for it, and sold it for $23.99 shipping. It's always nice when you're getting rid of your own stuff to make a little money on it. But hey, look, we both sold something that was our personal item. So yeah, so if you happen to come across any small black horror tees, I don't need vintage. I don't care about vintage. Just cool graphics. Let me know. I'll be happy to pay for them if it's one that I would wear. I am very particular about the actual shirts themselves. There's a lot of crappy horror tees out there, or too goofy for me. But yeah, let me know. Hit me up. I'll buy them from you if you find them along your travels.
All right, if you want to go to probably the second photo, yeah. So this is the first of 2 snowsuits I sold this week. This was a bins find, nothing wrong with it. It listed for less than 2 months, just a vintage snowsuit, ski suit. This one is actually pretty boring because it was white with just a little bit of red trim. I love them when they're like bright and colorful and funky colors. The louder the better, right? But yeah, it sold fairly quickly. Nothing wrong with it. Had a couple of pen marks on like one spot on the leg in general, but it's in great condition. And I always encourage picking up ski suits. I did get this at the bins. It took me a while to get it listed, but so maybe I paid $3 or $4 for it.
Yeah. Nice.
It didn't take very long. They're very lightweight, even though they're bulky. They're light.
Just a pain in the ass to photograph.
They are. It's hard to photograph. You've got to do like above. I think my lister probably stood on a chair to get that one.
Probably. All right. Next up, I've got, now this is a shirt. I'm pretty sure I did not get this from Jennifer. I think I got this from Jason, who I bought a bunch of Vicky's lister's husband. I bought a bunch of his graphic tees. I think I got this from him. I feel like it was in that batch. I could be wrong. In which case I paid $3 for it, but I probably paid anywhere from $3 to $5. If it was him, it was $3. If it was Jennifer, it was $5. But I just really like the graphic. I'm fairly certain I got it from him. It's just, I like the big buzz on the back,
What's
and I like the big
hit
B.
say?
It's actually t-shirt buzz. It's just a screen printing company.
Oh, okay.
But the graphic is so cool. It's got
Yeah.
this kind of pop art kind
I
of
feel
style
like you should
to
have
it.
offered that to Ken Hustleby.
No, I have run a business here, ma'am. Anyway.
It has a B and it says Buzz.
Anyway, this sold pretty quickly, actually. It was listed less than a week, and it sold for $29.99 with $5.95 shipping. But just a really cool t-shirt. I like it a lot. I feel like you're sliding off, puppy. You're chewing your little chew too aggressively. Let me move you so you don't fall on the ground. Anyway, so yeah. I mean, this is like Y2K vintage. You can see, just so you know, this Gildan tag, if it's gray lettering with the blue line through it, this is usually going to be Y2K. Sometimes, depending on what it could be a little bit different. Sometimes it is late 90s, but definitely Y2K. And so, sometimes that gives you a little extra boost. All right, next up for you. What you got here?
That's a good photo of the pants. These were from the bins as well. They reminded me of like what's a bullfighter called?
Something door.
Not conquistador.
No.
Like matador.
Matador. I don't know why.
For whatever reason, that's what these reminded me of. Embroidered rockabilly style with kind of like tapered leg matador. Thank you. Someone else got it in there.
Whee!
Yeah, wee with the pants. But for whatever reason, that's what they reminded me of. The embroidery. I could just see somebody wearing that with a cropped, fitted jacket. And they sold for the price you see there. I didn't have these listed too long, maybe a few months. They were bins fine. I probably paid about
really
$2 for. I thought that the detailing on them was
Yeah.
super cool. And again, these, I definitely have them listed under women's, but a small man could wear these too.
Yeah,
if
for
it's
sure.
that type of style.
All right. Next up for me, I've had this t-shirt for a while. I think I actually got this in Colorado when we did our thrifting trip with the Roots and a bunch of other people and Liz. And I remember getting this at an ARC thrift. And so, isn't it weird how you can remember like exactly where one particular shirt came from?
totally
I don't
can.
remember that with everything, but some stuff it's like I remember where I even grabbed it from. But this is just like a really cute shirt. I mean, it's like American Red Cross, but it's got such a cute little, like this little cartoon.
It looks like Opus cartoon.
Yeah,
like he looks
kinda.
a lot like who is that
I don't know.
cartoon?
Just when he thought he couldn't get any colder, Bert decided not to give blood, and like he's being shunned. Shunned, I tell you. But it's really fun. Actually, you guys, speaking of ARC, if anybody, the details are going to be coming out later about the road trip, Vicky and Trisha's road trip, and all of the meetups. But the one in Colorado is actually you're going to get a tour of the warehouse at ARC. It's going to be really cool. We've done the tour. It's super awesome.
We're going to get a guided tour. We're going to get some treats and some swag, and then we are going to go shop.
And they pretty much, like, when we went, they gave us all, like, a bunch of coupons to spend in the store.
Coupons and gift cards.
But it was, like, money off. It wasn't even, like, percentage off. It was, like...
No, it was, like, $5.
Like, little $5 cards that you could use all at once. So, yeah, if you're in the Colorado area, just pay attention for that information to come out and join the Facebook group. But anyway, I sold this for not that price. I sold it for $35. And I probably paid, like, maybe $5, $3 to $5 for it.
It's cute.
Yeah.
All right, another pair of pants.
These ones are not having a good time.
They are not. They did not go wee at all. So these are just 70s golf pants, polyester, wide leg, men's golf pants. But you can tell that, they're just a bright yellow. It's like a golden
awesome.
yellow. Not mustard, but like a golden yellow. And they actually sold to a person in DC, and I'm wondering if they're going to go golfing with like any politicians dressed like this.
I hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield.
Very Rodney
vibes.
Dangerfield vibes. They sold for the price you see there, $93. I had them listed for maybe 6 months or so. Again, when I'm talking vintage, I feel like 6 months is not a long time to have something listed. I realize that people that are selling, looking for a quicker sell-through, are not going to feel like that's fast. But for vintage, 6 months and under is pretty fast.
Yep. Very nice. All right. Next up for me, this is a hoodie. Me and my hoodies. This is a hoodie I grabbed from, pretty sure I got this at the bins, which is shocking that it made it through still white. But this is a women's DKNY sweatshirt hoodie. Not vintage, but it was just like a cool design. And I actually didn't have this listed for that long. Maybe a couple of months.
That photograph in the back looks really good, the way that you got the racing stripe.
Yeah. Yeah, I only had it listed for maybe a couple of months, and I got an offer for $36, and I'm like, okay, it's listed for $41.99. Yeah, I'll take your $36. Hell yeah!
I love when it's a reasonable offer.
So $36, $8.95 shipping, and I paid maybe $3 for it. It's just a nice little white hoodie, women's hoodie.
All right. So as you can tell, I don't steam my items before I list them.
This looks horrible.
It does, but tough. I mean, the amount of time that you waste in steaming items is not regained in the sales price. It just isn't.
Yeah.
So This was part of a huge batch of clothing that I purchased from my friend Robin in Florida. So what I paid $4 for the item itself. That was everything averaged out to about $4 an item, including the shipping. And I've had this listed for a little bit, but it sold for, this was an offer. This one I sold for $80, not the $97 you see
Nice.
there. But I was perfectly happy to take an $80 offer on it. It was pretty cool looking. It reminded me of a waitress dress, which is why I put that on there. I don't know, it's pretty cool.
It is cool. I like it. Does it have a tag?
Um,
Oh, yeah. Well,
Not
not
really.
like a
Not
brand.
much of one. It didn't have a brand.
interesting.
I mean, a lot of what I sell doesn't have a brand.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Next up, I just sold this yesterday. Man, I used to sell stuff for so much more back in the day, but this actually did sell for the price you see there, $41.99. So not bad. $42 plus $6 shipping. But it's just a really cool, really not quite all over print, but it kind of wraps around to
Like
the
a
sides.
wraparound print?
Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing on the back, but it's just like a really nice big graphic, and I love the whales. It looks really cool. And so I sold it for $41.99. I've had this for a while. I probably paid $5 for it, depending on where I got it. But $42 plus $6 shipping, not too bad. And it's just, this is a cool shirt. I love shirts like this. They make me happy.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is one of my lots that I sold this week. This is just everything marked 925 sterling. It's just a bunch of earrings. Ended with just one bid, which I generally start an auction at the lowest I'm willing to accept. So I was fine with that. Most of my auctions have been getting multiple bids on these types of lots, but this is not a ton. It was, do we even have down there 25 pairs of earrings? Not really worth listing individually. They're very lightweight. I mean, yeah, could I get 10 to 15, maybe $20 a pair for some of these? Yes. For a reseller, this is a great price. For me, I'm not listing everything on consignment for $10, $15 a pair and then paying my consignee out $5 from each one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense for me to do, especially because of the volume that he's giving me. It makes a lot more sense for me to just turn it and burn it and get things listed like items listed together. So I'm very happy with the way that these items are going and how quickly they're going. I will say I am officially through my entire first batch of jewelry from him. Every single item has been listed, if not sold. And I have a handful of items that I'm saving to lot up with other things.
Yeah.
Because they're not worth listing individually, but not worth throwing in or didn't quite meet these other lots. So I should be getting my second lot of jewelry this week from him. So far he's very happy with prices and the amount that things are selling for. So
Nice.
It's working out.
Very good. All right, next up, I really like these shirts. They just feel cool to me. Kind of rockabilly, but like this classic kind of polo, vintage classics polo shirt. I like this one in particular. I like that green, that particular shade of green, this pullover style with the stripe going down it. I feel like I know I got a bunch of these at the bins, and then I feel like maybe I've gotten some from Jennifer, but I don't remember. So let's just say I paid anywhere from $1 to $5 for it, but sold for $32.39. Yeah, it's definitely very much like a bowling alley type of shirt. But I could also see like a rockabilly person wearing some creepers with it.
Oh, for sure.
Slicked back hair, but just I like the style a lot, and they don't sell for a crazy amount, but they do move for me if I have them priced right.
They move pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's a cool shirt. So $32.39, I'm happy with that. Nothing crazy.
So Lori says, I just listed Alex and Ani bracelets in a lot, and they sold for $88 plus shipping. Happy to be. They're gone. I agree with you. So I'm from Rhode Island, as you guys know, or most of you guys know, and Alex and Ani is a Rhode Island company. I know they're national now and probably international, but they started as a Rhode Island company. I have probably 75 Alex and Ani bracelets that I really need to get rid of. I haven't worn them in a decade. But, in the early 2000s, Alex and Ani was hot in Rhode Island, and then they did some shady stuff, and I worked with them with my charity and stuff like that. But I just don't wear them anymore. And they discolor. That's the other thing. They're not sterling.
Yeah.
But they're not as, they're not as many as they they're not as worth as much as they used to be. They're not as popular, but I still have them. I don't think I've gotten rid of them because a lot of them were purchased for sentimental reasons or were gifts. So
Yeah.
instead they just sit in my jewelry box.
All right. Here we go.
This is another lot. This one did have a lot of bids, especially bid activity at the end. And this is not a ton of items as well, but this was all sterling gold over sterling, really. So it's gold vermeil over sterling silver. They're all marked 925, but they're all colored as gold. And lots of them are gemstones. If you look at some of the photos, there's a lot of, sapphires and rubies and garnets and diamond chips and pieces like that. You've got, aquamarine and topaz and rubies and amethyst. So for scrap weight, this is not something you want to sell for scrap weight because most of this the weight comes from the gemstones. Now this is probably a really good lot, actually. That price is pretty low, but the person that bought this is a jeweler.
Yeah.
So
They'll be able to do something with them.
They're going to sell them. They're going to put them in a store or sell them online themselves and probably get $30, $40, $50, $75 a piece for each of those items, which is great. I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam. That's not what I want to do with the items.
Yep. Turn and burn. Turn and burn. All right.
So if you're a jewelry seller, you should be watching my store, honestly,
Yeah.
because these are some good prices
For real.
for resale.
All right, fairly positive. I got this from Jennifer, in which case I paid $5 for it. Virginia is for lovers. You'll see that saying. I think they have it on their license plates or some license
That's
plates.
the state slogan.
It's a state slogan. But this one is from Y2K based on the tag, this Delta tag, this particular Delta tag. Just in really nice condition, bigger size, and I sold it for $44.09 after paying about $5 for it. But just a really cool t-shirt. I still got it, guys. I still got it.
You still got it. All right, I think this is my last lot of jewelry to show for this week, but this is all, now this is costume jewelry. Every piece here is costume, no sterling silver in sight. This is just silver plate, gold plate, whatever, all costume. Sold for $200. 90 pieces of costume jewelry, just the rings. They're all nice, big, bold statement rings. Most of them are new or never worn. They're nice pieces. The closest it comes to designer is I have those 2 Michael Kors rings back there that are stacked on top of each other. The rest are no name.
Yeah, she's got a ton more jewelry.
Yeah, I do still have a ton more jewelry, Lori. Feel free to hit me up privately if there's stuff that you want to buy to resell out yourself. I have it all listed. You can take a look, and I'm happy to make you an offer off-site or talk to you about it off-site, not privately.
And this is only her first batch is maybe 1/10 of what there is total coming to her. So
yeah, there's a ton more coming.
Yeah. All right. Next up for me, the Spirit of Ford t-shirt. I've had it for a little while, but I love the design on it. This really cool galaxy kind of outer space thing going on.
The Milky Way.
But it's for the grand opening of some car thing. But I think the car is called a Spirit or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really know. I just think it's a cool shirt because of the outer space thing. But you can see if you pay attention, it's actually a car in constellations there.
Oh yeah, you had to point that out for me to see it.
Well, I figure there because I think I didn't notice at first when I first got it.
Jennifer said she sold you that.
Yeah. So I paid $5 for it.
And it sold for $62.99.
It did, but I think I bought this. I think this is like at least a few buys ago, isn't it, Jennifer? Like this one is not a more recent one. It definitely took a while, and I have it priced a little higher. Whereas now I probably would price it. I wouldn't have priced it as high based on like how I'm pricing things now. But it's a super cool shirt. I love it. It's very cool. It just took a little while, but worth it. Worth it.
Very cool. This actually sold to Israel, which made the shipping. The person paid like $70 shipping. I don't know why it calculated that high, but it did not cost me that. It cost me about $25 to ship it. So I actually made another $50
Jeez.
on this sale. This is a bins buy. I paid probably $4 or $5 for it. It is a heavyweight velvet, boxy velvet jacket. It is a women's jacket, but it's a good size, first of all, which doesn't, it's a medium, but it's like a generous medium. And it's nice, thick, heavy velvet, not velour, not cheap velvet, just nice, thick, luxurious velvet. So it sold for $91 plus they paid a ton in shipping. And no, I did not refund the difference in the shipping. They clearly thought it was acceptable. I don't know why Etsy has been calculating international shipping so
Yeah, I
high,
know.
but it has been.
Nice of you to join us, Liz.
It has been calculating international shipping even
Yeah, I know.
higher than normal, which means that we're making more money on the sale, which I'm fine with. But I'm wondering if that's turning off any of my international buyers.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because I do calculated shipping.
How much did it weigh?
Between 2 and 3 pounds.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Liz, you are a bum. All right. More rockabilly bowling stuff. This Nat Nast silk shirt. Black and cream silk shirt. This kind
It's a
of
nice one.
color block going on. $50
Look
on.
at Vincenzo liked it, so that's exactly who I picture wearing it. Paulie Walnuts, Paulie Walnuts, and his buddy Vincenzo.
Anyway, sold for $50. So, and
Where'd you get it?
I feel like I got this at a thrift. I feel like I got this in like Boston or something. Like when we were there. I feel like we might have gone. Did we go to one thrift store when we were on the East Coast?
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like I got it there. I could be wrong.
We went to a Salvation Army.
Yeah. So.
And I think we each got like 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I've had for quite a while. You can tell by the background that there's no background remover or anything like that. So I've had this from quite a while. In fact, I think this may have come from my acquisition of the Clothing Vault's inventory when List Perfectly ladies got out of selling. And so which means that I have had it for a while. I got that in October of 2020. And had everything listed by spring of 2021. So this has been listed for a minute. I mean, more than this. So
Look at that background.
yeah, so $140 is what it sold for plus shipping. Already received positive feedback on it. Customer loved it. So Mama X says the tariffs are higher to some countries. You're correct. The tariffs are higher, but I was talking specifically about the shipping cost.
Yeah, that shouldn't affect
not the tariff.
The shipping that's calculated.
Yeah, anyway, so $140. I always pick up vintage ski suits. This one actually, they're probably going to really love it because it is much brighter in person. It is a nice bright maroon.
Yeah. All right. Last one for me is this, I don't know how it's pronounced, Leadville Silver Rush. It's a mountain bike race t-shirt, super cool t-shirt, but definitely had it priced. I mean, I had to have had this listed for a while because of how high my price is, because I would probably price this now at like 40 and then sell it for 30. But it was an old price, so sold for $70 on Poshmark of all places, so fine with me. Yeah, I was just happy to sell a t-shirt for lots of money, but that's definitely the highest priced item that I sold this whole week.
Apparently Liz says it's from Colorado.
Oh, okay, yeah, I probably got it like in Colorado then.
You may have.
Anywho, that's it for that. This baby is so squirmy. She's so squirmy. She was chewing her little chew, and don't worry, it's not rawhide. It's a little collagen chew, so it's safe for her. And we always keep an eye on her when she's chewing on it. But anyway, so that's it for our sales highlights. As far as goals go, I mean, I know last week I was just kind of like, I don't know that we're going to do anything, try to get by, but I definitely was able to keep up on the 5 listings a day. I kind of lowered my, I'm not doing 10 a day for now. I want to get back to my 10 a day because it definitely is hurting me, but just trying to get back to consistent listing. I only have like maybe 10, 15 items to list before I need to take more photographs, but I did do a really big buy from Jen just this last week.
Jen, just don't call her Jenny. It's Jen or Jennifer. Do not call her Jenny.
Who was calling her Jenny?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think I can call her Jen. I don't know. Anyway, I think I got like 169 t-shirts and 50 sweatshirts, so over 200 pieces. But they're still in the boxes. I still have to sort them out, go through them, process them, and photograph them. So I've got the stuff. I've got the inventory
I've got the goods.
I got the goods, and now that we've had these dogs a couple weeks, I am allowed to go upstairs without this baby over here freaking out too much.
She's a freaker outer, but look at how
she's
cute
getting
she
much
is.
better. She's getting much better. But let me tell you, when you have her with you, she'll just sit like this one's all squirming all over the place.
She hasn't
Gizmo. I mean, yes, she's on some trazodone right now. I don't think she likes being on her back, but yeah, she's on some trazodone right now, so it's making her a little sleepy. But even without that, if she's in your lap, she'll just sit and she won't try to go anywhere because she just wants to be close.
She's a good baby. Hey, Noelle, look at Noelle's
She's a
in the
very
chat.
good baby. So anyway, so I guess my goal is I'm going to stick to my 5 goal a day for now. Because I'm just trying to me, it's more about like, I need to get back into the swing of things. I need to get the habit back. I need to start building up my draft bank. And I'm going to be realistic for now and just focus on the 5 a day. And then hopefully by the time Vikki leaves for 500 bazillion days, I'm going to hopefully have enough inventory that I can plow through and push back up to 10 a day and actually have a draft bank.
So I'm down to only having swimsuits to list, which are flippin' boring and not selling right now for me. So that's not super exciting. But I have 300 and I think I've listed 50. So I got a lot to go. So I've got swimsuits and I have a bunch of vintage dolls and doll clothes that I have literally had hidden in totes for years. They have been my death pile, my only death pile, and I'm doing those this week. So that's my goal, to get that stuff listed this week. Not all the swimsuits, but some. My goal is to do 5 swimsuits a day and 5 doll items a day and get that stuff done. So that's my plan. While we're dealing with the puppy stuff, there's also a lot of planning involved with, this road trip. So we're getting that stuff finalized this week, and then it's just about going. There's not, once we have the location set and everything advertised and everybody knows all the events and the meetups and where they're happening, then it's just, there's no more work involved in it. It's until we get there. So we'll be doing that this week, which is going to take some time.
We are going to be. We talked briefly last week that Vikki and Trish are going on this road trip. We've added a TikTok, a Facebook group, and our goal with our YouTube channel and just like content in general is we are making some changes right now, and we're going to be doing a lot more content. It's kind of getting kicked off.
There will be a lot more haul videos.
Yes.
There will be a lot more shop with me or thrift with me videos.
Right now, we're just kicking it off with this road trip, and that's going to be...
and this is the only video that's going to stay the way it is. We're still going to continue.
Not completely. We're going to change it.
We're going to change some of it.
It's still going to be our live show.
But this is still going to be our Sunday live show. And
we're going to change the structure a little bit.
Yeah. We're looking at the TikTok post is going to feed to Facebook. TikTok, I think so. Yes. That's the plan, is for the reels to be TikTok, Instagram.
Well, Instagram will feed to Facebook.
And Facebook. TikTok does as well.
Does it?
Yeah, it's just not necessarily automatic.
We'll probably just go from Instagram.
Here's the thing. The only reason we're pushing TikTok is because, A, it's another venue to be on or another platform to be on. But we need to get to 1,000 followers before we can stream live on TikTok.
Yeah.
So the plan is we're going to get everything done, and we're going to be doing a lot of little shorter reels and all that kind of stuff. So this trip is going to be kicking it off because we're going to be constantly filming content the entire time. And posting it across all of the socials and doing it in small segments and then in longer ones as well.
Squirmy.
And, like I said, we're doing 10 meetups in 13 days. We're driving 3,000 miles. 3,000 miles in 13 days, which obviously if I were just trying to get the inventory and move it across the country, I could do that in 3.5 days. But we're just decided to make it a reseller trip across America and visit as many of our friends and stranger friends as possible. It's not costing us anything extra other than some hotel rooms and time.
The TikTok is linked down below as well. So if you just click on the link in the description of this video, it'll be taken straight to it. But yeah, long story short, we are going to be adding a lot more content. Right now, all of our focus and energy, or Vikki's anyway, is on this road trip. I will be enjoying the calm before the storm.
She'll be enjoying the quiet with me gone for 3 weeks.
Before the storm though, because as soon as they get back, all hell's going to be breaking loose because we're going to have to be.
We need to find somewhere to put.
We're going to have to be putting it all away and
double my inventory.
And we're going to be filming and doing all that stuff, all the projects, and at least we'll have Trish here to help us. And but it's all going to be, there's going to be a lot of changes happening as far as our content goes over the next coming few months and into the next year. So isn't that puppy the cutest?
Isn't she the cutest?
Yeah, I know. I don't care. It's going to be good. Well, this one right here is pretty cute though.
They're both
I gotta say, I love them both, okay? Nobody can deny how cute a puppy is. But my heart really loves this baby right here. She is definitely very, very special to me. And as you guys know, I've had Grizz since 2011, and Grizz is my ride or die. Grizz is my sweet, sweet baby. I love her so much. And no dog will
she's
ever...
about 17 or 18.
Yeah, no dog will ever replace her. She has kidney failure and heart failure, and she's lost weight, and she's still doing okay. She's still in good spirits, still eating, still going to the bathroom, all that stuff. But I don't think it's going to be too much longer. But there's something about this baby right here that reminds me a lot of Grizz. And so I think that as devastating as it absolutely is going to be when I do lose Grizz, I know it's going to help at least a little bit to have this baby right here, because she is just the sweetest, most loving, lovey-dovey, just
See,
sweet,
we were
sweet
supposed
baby.
to. We were supposed to get them both.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get them both so that Grizz will make this. Gizmo will make the transition easier.
Yeah, she's just like, you can see her. She's so cuddly. It's like when you pick her up, she just like melts into your arms, and she's just so still, and she's kind of lets you, like, it's like she's a little warm heater rag doll.
Yes, it is 4 total right now, Susie. And then it'll be 3. We had 3 before. You know, most of you guys know that we lost my dog Luna suddenly while we were in Boston for Diane's funeral. She passed away here while with our dog sitter. Unfortunately, she had sudden heart failure. It was awful, and we did not expect it. She was 13 and a half, but we definitely were not expecting it. She was a fairly healthy senior Chihuahua, and they can last for 15, 16, 18 years. So I was not expecting that at all.
The rescue that we got her from said they thought she was like 4, but when I took her to the vet last week, they looked at her teeth, and the doctor,
yes.
Yeah, the doctor said, I would be shocked if she was 4. She looks between 1 and 2, which made me a lot happier that she's much younger. Because she's seriously, I mean, just look at her. Just look at her, you guys.
We thought she was that.
I
think this little baby was her first heat and her first litter, which would put her at about 18 months old, which sounds about right to me.
Yeah, we're just calling it. She's 2 as of the day we got her. It makes it easier to have the gotcha day be her birthday, since we don't know anything else about her. But she is the sweetest little baby in the whole world. And she actually cuddles with Grizz. She doesn't bug Grizz or try to play with Grizz, but she goes and sleeps next to her, and it's really, really cute. Anyway, let's wrap this up, guys. We will be back next week on Sunday for our Sunday show, so have no fear. Not that you do, but... and I don't know, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just want to say we're going to try to stick to our goals, and hopefully you guys are following us along with this transition, and how the channel is changing a little bit, or it's going to be changing. I know that our ride or die, followers and watchers, tend to watch whatever content we put out, and we really and greatly appreciate that. I know we started out doing 3 shows a week a million years ago, and it just got to be too much, and we've always said we don't like editing content, but we've found some help on the back end with that, and that's going to freshen up the channel, I think, and give you guys more of the content that we always kind of wanted to do, but didn't want to deal with the editing aspect.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means that you guys are going to enjoy following along and digesting smaller bits. So
yeah.
Anyway. We're excited because we like doing it. We like teaching. We like, talking about stuff we do. And we've always just done this live show because, quite honestly, we've said we're lazy YouTubers, and it's just easier to do lives.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Anywho, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We got some other work to do. And then, we got some adventures to go on tonight. And, yeah.
That's it.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much.
Everybody have a great week. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Squirmy puppy.
She's very squirmy.
Why are you so squirmy? Be more like your mama.